In today's video, we're taking a look at two of Reolink's brand new floodlight cameras, the TrackFlex Floodlight and the Elite Floodlight. Check it out. What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. On the surface, these two new cameras look very similar. They're both floodlight cameras, they're both dual lens cameras, and they're also both designed to be a simple mains powered floodlight camera, which is definitely a new and a first for Reolink. Fundamentally though, the way that these cameras actually work is a bit different, so depending on what your setup is and what your actual needs are, one of these cameras might make a lot more sense than the other. As I mentioned, one of the big changes with these cameras is the fact that these are mains powered, so finally Reolink have listened and finally added mains powered cameras. So with both of these cameras, you could just simply remove an outside light or get a feed into wherever you want to have it, and then just simply wire it in. And this of course makes perfect sense considering both of these are both floodlight cameras. This video isn't going to be a full in-depth review or a full breakdown of every single aspect and every single feature of the two cameras, but what we are instead going to do is have a look at some of the things that are the same, some of the things that are different, some of my kind of personal inputs, because I've been using the Elite Floodlight since last August and the TrackFlex now for the last couple of months, so I've got a good idea of how the cameras work and what I like and don't like. If you want to know a bit more about the two cameras and what the key differences are, then be sure to head over to the Reolink site because they've got this little camera comparison tool, and using that tool you'll be able to just side by side the two cameras and then just have a look at the key features and what's the same and what's different. Let's kick this off then, and we'll start with some of the things that are the same, and we'll take a look at what you get in the boxes. Both cameras come with everything that you need. You'll obviously get the cameras, you'll get some mounting hardware, you'll get some USB-C cables, some installation templates, and some instruction manuals and warranty cards. With both of these, the packaging and accessories are pretty much the exact same across both models. Both cameras feature these dual adjustable floodlight panels, and these panels are fully adjustable, meaning you can tilt them, you can rotate them, and you can just angle them to give you a better light coverage for the area that you place your camera. As well as being physically adjustable, you can also adjust the brightness and also the colour. So for brightness, you can go up to 3000 lumens, which is bright enough to pretty much light up any driveway or garden. You can also adjust the colour temperature, and this ranges from 3000K right up to 6000K, meaning you can choose between a warmer light or a cooler white light. So depending on the look or the feel that you want from your lights, you can adjust all of this all inside of the Reolink app. As well as being able to adjust the temperature and also the brightness of your lights, Reolink do also provide a couple of different modes for your lighting. So these panels can be adjusted to activate the panels based on any motion. You can have them always be turned on when it's nighttime. You can schedule them so they're on for a specific few hours or off for so many hours, or you can just manually control them, so just manually turn the lights on and manually turn them off. So there's actually quite a lot of flexibility and customization that's available for just the light panels. That's without any of the camera controls or camera settings. So there's lots you can do with the lights, and it's nice that you can do this because one of the big aspects of these cameras is obviously the floodlights. Both cameras have their dual floodlight panels, which gives them full colour night vision, but they also have IR LEDs, which allows them to have infrared night vision of up to 100 feet. Next up, we've got the power and installation. Both of these cameras are both mains powered, and it is just a simple live neutral earth connection. So on the cameras there's a little connector block, and this is the same for both of these. However, what I actually chose to do is make use of some little Wagos, but even just using the connector blocks, it is just a simple case of remove your old outside existing light and just wire in this new one. One little thing that I really like about both of these cameras is that to help with the actual installation, Reolink have included these little camera mounting loops, and the idea of these is you can mount the back plate to the wall or the ceiling, wherever you're actually going to be placing it, and then the camera can just hang from there. So you can hang the camera and it will be fully supported by this little loop, and then you can adjust your cables and wires, and when you're ready you can then put the camera in place. So it might sound like it's a really little thing, but when you're up a ladder and you're trying to hold a camera and put wires in, it really does make a difference, and it is really helpful. Another really nice aspect that Reolink have included on both of these cameras is both cameras have a little USB-C port, and the idea of this is you can actually just plug the camera into some power inside of your house. You can set up the camera and have it ready to go, and it's only the camera that will be powered by the USB-C, it won't be the floodlights. So both cameras are powered the exact same way. They both also have the same mounting options available, so they can either be ceiling mounted or wall mounted, whatever your preference is. They're both also set up in the exact same way, so again, if you're familiar with any kind of Reolink products or Reolink setups, then this is the exact same process. It's just a simple case of turning on the camera, so whether you power it through USB-C or power it straight from your mains, once the camera's got some power, you choose to add a device in the Reolink app, which will just provide you with a QR code, and then you show this QR code to the camera, it scans it, and then it will connect to your Wi-Fi, and you're pretty much just good to go. For connectivity and the way that you're actually going to communicate with these cameras, this is all going to be done with Wi-Fi. So both of these cameras are both Wi-Fi based, they both support Wi-Fi 6, and they both also support 2.4 and 5 GHz networks. Both of these cameras are also IP66 rated, meaning that they're designed to be outdoors and can handle and withstand the rain and whatever harsh weather conditions that you have. And I guess if you really wanted to, you could put them indoors. I'm not sure why you would, but if you want to, then you can. In terms of storage, there's a number of different storage options available for both of these cameras. Both cameras support micro SD cards of up to 512 gigabytes. They both also support the Reolink NVR and also the Reolink Home Hub. They both support FTP storage and NAS storage, so there's plenty of different options available to you, and you can choose and pick whichever ones you want. And the nice thing about this is the fact that they're all local, so Reolink aren't just trying to shove the cloud down your throat and get you to sign up and pay for a cloud subscription. You do have the options available to make use of any kind of local storage that you want. For actually accessing and viewing the cameras, both cameras also have a number of different options available. So the most obvious one is to make use of the Reolink app on your phone or your tablet. Using that app, you're going to have full control over both sets of cameras. You'll be able to modify all of the different camera settings, which there are a lot of. You'll also be able to modify the lights that we mentioned earlier, and you'll be able to enable a bunch of other features, including some smart home integrations. And these cameras both fully support Amazon Echo, Google Home, and also HomeAssistant. You're not just limited to the Reolink app though. If you wanted to, there is a desktop app available, so you can download the Reolink desktop app and view it and control it on your own computers. As well as this, there's also RTSP streaming available for both cameras, so to access this you just need to enable the RTSP stream, and then you'll be able to stream it to whatever player or media device that you want and just view your camera feeds like that. Something else that's the same for both of these cameras is they both have microphones and speakers for full two-way audio, and they both also support smart features like person, vehicle, and animal detection. Let's move on then to what's actually different, and I think the biggest difference, and probably the most obvious one, is the camera system itself. Both of these cameras technically have dual lenses, but the way that they actually use these lenses and the way that these lenses work is very different. The Elite Floodlight uses its dual lenses to create a single ultra-wide 180-degree image. The two lenses work together and the footage is then just stitched together inside of the camera to produce one super ultra-wide field of view. The main benefit of having a camera like this, where it's got those dual lenses, is the fact that you get this very wide area of coverage, and this is all done with one camera, so you're not having to deploy multiple cameras. Having this super ultra wide field of view is basically the Elite Floodlight superpower, but the TrackFlex on the other hand doesn't have this same superpower. Instead of using its second lens to create a super ultra wide field of view, it instead makes use of its second lens to actually track movement. Physically looking at the two cameras, you can see that the TrackFlex is built different. The Elite Floodlight is static and doesn't move around, whereas the TrackFlex employs a PTZ style movement, so it's motorized and it can move around, and it can actually physically move and track a target. So whenever motion's detected on the TrackFlex, the camera will actually follow the subject and it will keep them in frame as they move around. With the TrackFlex, it's actually advertised as having full 360 degrees, but this is going to be dependent on how you actually mount it. If you ceiling mount it, then you're going to have that full 360 degree coverage, whereas if you wall mount it like I have, then you're going to have more than 180 degrees because it can move up and down as well as a bit further to the left and the right. But if you move too far to the left or too far to the right, or it just looks behind itself, then it's obviously only going to see the wall. The way that the TrackFlex makes use of its dual lenses is actually really cool. So one of the lenses is a telephoto lens, which is going to give you up to 6 times zoom, and the other lens is a wide angle lens. Obviously, the TrackFlex's wide angle is nowhere near as wide as the Elite Floodlights, but it's still wide enough that you're going to have good coverage and it is worthwhile having. Okay, so those are the key differences between the cameras. Obviously, if you wanted a really super wide field of view and you don't want the camera to move about, then the Elite Floodlight is the camera that you want. If you want to be able to actually physically move the camera or have the camera track and move and follow a person or a vehicle or whatever you want to set the camera to, then the TrackFlex is definitely the one that you want. Before we kind of move on to my actual thoughts and opinions though, there is something that I quickly want to touch on, and it's kind of the smart home aspect of it. So both of these cameras support Google Home, Amazon Echo, and of course Home Assistant. And using either the Echoes or Google Homes, you can have alerts when things happen, like you could have an alert when there's motion, and the speakers or displays can actually announce these things. Or if you wanted to, you could actually view those camera feeds on those devices if they have a display. So these are things like your Nest displays or your Echo Shows. But the platform that I do want to quickly touch on and show off is of course Home Assistant. With Home Assistant, the Reolink integration is a platinum integration, which is basically the highest level that an integration can be. With the Reolink integration, your camera will actually automatically be detected if it's on your network, and you'll have full access to all of the different controls, all of the different sensors, and also your camera feeds. Basically, anything that you can do inside of the Reolink app, you're actually able to do inside of the Home Assistant integration, and that's pretty awesome. With using Home Assistant, you can make use of any of the camera's sensors or controls, and you can use these in all of your different scripts and automations. Okay, let's kind of wrap this up then with my thoughts and opinions on both of these cameras. Overall, I think both of these cameras are really solid cameras, and they're both great additions to Reolink's lineup. It's great to see that Reolink finally added some mains powered cameras, because for me personally, that was one of the things that I was really waiting for Reolink to do. Having had these cameras for a while now, I have had a few issues with them, but thankfully Reolink have resolved these. With the Elite Floodlight camera, when I initially had this set up and installed, there was a problem where it would actually take a good few seconds for the floodlights to kick in, which is of course not what you want for a floodlight camera. Somebody could easily walk in front of the camera and then walk out of position, and the floodlights just would take too long to turn on. With the TrackFlex camera, I had an issue where if I was using the Reolink app, then some of the features just wouldn't show up despite the camera supporting them. Removing the camera and re-adding it and resetting the app and doing all of that stuff didn't work and just didn't help, but thankfully both of these issues that I've had with both cameras have been resolved in Reolink firmware updates. I'm not sure if Reolink update the firmware on the cameras before they get sent out or whether it's kind of like a batch thing, but if you do pick up either of these cameras, do make sure you update to the latest firmware because they might have these issues that you'll need to update to fix. With the things that I really like about these cameras, the first one is the floodlights. These floodlights are excellent and they give plenty of light. It's also really cool that there's a lot of customization and flexibility with being able to angle the light and also adjust the colour and temperature. The second thing that I really like is of course Home Assistant. If you want to integrate some cameras into your smart home and be able to make use of all of the camera's features and functionality, then Reolink cameras work really well with Home Assistant. I actually really like the look and style of both of these new floodlight cameras. If you compare and contrast these to some of Reolink's older cameras like the Duo and the Track Mix, then these cameras are so much smaller and just look way nicer. With the Elite Floodlight, if you compare this to the Duo provides the same functionality where it's a really wide field of view, but the Duo does it in a much bigger housing and just doesn't look as attractive. And if you've got this on the side of your house like I do, then it just really stands out. The Elite camera is way smaller and more compact, and it's got better features, better functionality, and better lighting. The same goes with the TrackFlex. If you compare this to something like the Track Mix, although it doesn't have the same zoom range, it still has pretty much the same features and functionality, and more. And again, it does all of this in a much smaller and more compact size. But there we go guys, that's been a little look at Reolink's floodlight cameras. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you want to know about them or if you've got any questions on how the cameras work or anything like that. If you did enjoy this video, then be sure to drop me a like, and if you aren't already, hit that subscribe button and ding dong the notification bell and you'll be alerted to any future video that I do. Thank you for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.